And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another edition here of ShowBlitz, where, of course, yours truly, Charles Prodigy Richey. As you can follow me on social media, you can follow me on Twitter at MassSteelCGR and on Instagram at MassSteelNation. We are now in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. Right now, round number two coming up. We begin today's divisional opening matchup. It will be the Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Jacksonville Jaguars for this contest right now as we get ready to look at Jacksonville Jaguars who come in red hot, riding a five-game winning streak to close the season, plus last year's upset, comfort behind win over the LA Chargers, twice on point deficit as they get in here. Kansas City Chiefs, they get their first bye in over 2 years uh, since they last been to the Super Bowl, which they came up short in the Super Bowl to Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tampa right there. So the first game on is going to be on, like I said, at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. It was like over 10 minutes ago. Then later on tonight, we're going to be having on Fox, be the Philadelphia Eagles, who's the other team that gets their bye. They will be hosting the GM New York Giants. That's going to be on Fox and Fox Sports at 8 o'clock Eastern time will be the kickoff for that game coming in here tonight. As we got ready to have the call set for the game today for the NFL on NBC Sports, it'll be Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth. They'll have a call for the action tonight as we will look at right now. But yeah, definitely some interesting stuff right now. Kansas City Chiefs still gotta believe they have a better taste in their feeling the way their season ended last year, making it to the AFC Championship game, then only to come up losing to the Cincinnati Bengals right there. Kansas City Chiefs, who really should have had that game wrapped up against Cincinnati in the AFC Championship game. They lost that one 24-27 after blowing an 18-point lead, as we saw right there. The Bengals, who came from behind in that game, they outscored them 24-3 in the second half to win that contest. And right now, as we look at some of the other stuff going on right now, when you look at the last time these two teams faced each other, the Kansas City Chiefs and Jacksonville Jaguars met back in week number 10. As we look at week 10, that was for this year, excuse me, for the Kansas City Chiefs. That game took place in Arrowhead Stadium. The Chiefs won that game by 10 points. And one of the biggest things right now, too, in that game was that how the Chiefs were able to outgain the Jaguars on the ground that game. They outgained them 155 to 75 yards, 80-yard difference right there. And of course, too, one of the noticeable things too was the lack of the Jacksonville Jaguars pass rush in that game. As we look at it, they struggled to keep Mahomes in the pocket, and where he completed 26-35 attempts for 331 yards. He had 4 touchdowns on the day, and he also ran 7 times for 39 yards. But his running backs in this game, the most notable star on the running game was Isaiah Pacheco, who had 16 carries for 82 yards, which benefited the Chiefs hugely, going 7-10 on third down conversions. As we looked at it, the Jaguars, they were undisciplined in their rush lanes in the first half and let Mahomes find gaps to run through. Against the Jaguars, he scrambled 12.5% dropbacks, his highest percentage of the season for 40 yards. Additionally, when he bought time and led to huge plays downfield. And this is according to an article right here that was written on the Athletic right here as we look at going into this game. But yeah, basically, too, on third down, the Jaguars played man coverage with one safety deep and one safety playing robber 10 yards from the line of scrimmage, meaning they had no defenders left to act as a spy on Mahomes. Four-man rush had to contain him. As we look at it too, this season too, the defense for the Kansas City Chiefs, especially the last couple of years, which has really been looking solid right now. The Kansas City Chiefs right now, I mean, for this season too, when you look at everything going on right now, I mean, their defense, they're eighth in rushing defense, fighting the run, only 11th overall in total yards. But I mean, what makes the Chiefs really special too? I mean, we also look at as well. I mean, for all that they're doing, they got 55 sacks right now on the season. As we look at it, Chiefs who are really just coming into their own. I mean, defensively, their team has been making some big plays. I mean, if you think about some of the big plays they made, I mean, you think about like the one Thursday night game earlier in the year versus the LA Chargers in that game. When you look at, I mean, the versus Chargers on Thursday night, that was in week number two for the Kansas City Chiefs. It was a 90-yard interception return, a pick six by Jalen Watson, and right there where the Chargers were driving, they went up 24 to 20. 24 to 17 on the Chargers in that game, and were able to secure with a 10-point lead, a 31-yard field goal by Matt Amendola. They were able to hang on, win that game 27 to 24. It was the same game, too, that Justin Herbert also has ribs injured in that game, who did not miss any time, but he was definitely playing for some pain in that game right here. And look at it right here. I mean, for everything that's been going on, it's just an unbelievable year right now going on. But here we are right now. Chiefs, like I said, they're looking to get back to the Super Bowl, win it, and more in particular behind this defensive tandem for the Chiefs. Who you got defensive tackle Chris Jones, who is 28 years old. He leads his team in sacks with 15 and a half, which is his career best since 2016, as well as 29 quarterback hits. And then, of course, defensive end Frank Clark helped push the Chiefs to Super Bowl glory again. Both of them have 1 year remaining on their deals. Frank Clark has a cap hit of over 28.67 million, and Chris Jones with 28.29 million for 2023. Now, as I just mentioned right now, Frank Clark right now, he elected to stay with the Chiefs in March by restructuring his deal, which reduces base salary to $3.7 million dollars. And the Chiefs, however, can create $21 million in salary cap space next year while taking a $7.6 million cap hit in dead money if they release Clark, according to Over the Cap. In 15 games this season, Clark recorded 5 sacks, 13 quarterback hits, and 8 tackles behind the line of scrimmage. And right now, according to the quote here from the KC Chiefs defensive specialist right now, going into this game, according to Clark, he says, right now I've got to stay, simmering. The storm is coming soon, though. That's a storm that's coming. And why not? I mean, look at it right here. I mean, Clark and Jones were the anchors of the defense that helped the Chiefs significantly beat the 49ers. And more particular, too, they were down by as many as 10 points, too, in that Super Bowl 54, which they came from behind in the fourth quarter behind Patrick Mahomes and company. Jones was saying, we're eager to get after it. He says his relationship with Clark, who missed the first meeting between the teams in Week 10 while serving suspension for violating the NFL's personal conduct policy. When you look at Frank's resume, what he does in the playoffs, it speaks for itself. He's tied for 5th in the playoffs in sacks. He's got 11. Patrick Mahomes so far right now, he's having his best season yet, throwing for a career high 5,250 yards with 41 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. He has his highest completion percentage of 67% since trading away their top receiver, Tyreek Hill. Now, Tyreek Hill, who was dealt with back in March to the Miami Dolphins Chiefs in exchange for Tyreek Hill. They received a 2022 first, second, and two fourth-round picks, and a 2023 sixth-round pick. After the trade was completed, Hill signed a 4-year, $120 million extension uh, with the Miami Dolphins. This includes $72.2 million guaranteed, making him the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. Now, he had career high in receiving yards this year, but not as many touchdowns as he did with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, you look on the flip side, like I said, I mentioned to this, the Jacksonville Jaguars right now. I mean, right now for their second year, first year with the Jaguars, which is Doug Pearson, who's had a phenomenal coach career so far. He has a winning record of 51-45-1. He's also a Super Bowl champion. As you look at it, his coaching history, and don't forget him and Andy Reid served together during their times right there for about 7 straight years from 2009 to 2015, remaining the 4 seasons with the Eagles, and of course 3 with the Kansas City Chiefs before taking over the reins as a head coach with the Philadelphia Eagles right now. Now you look at everything right now, what he's been able to do. I mean, everything that's going on. He has 5-2 in the postseason right now. He's got this Jaguars team buying in. Now, a year ago, you look at a guy like Trevor Lawrence and his team. I suspect he probably wasn't taking things as seriously. Trevor Lawrence, again, who was the number 1 overall pick in 2021. I mean, look at him by the numbers right now this year. I mean, when you look at he's got a 9-8 record this year, 66 completion percentage, 4,113 yards, 25 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. He is the real deal, if you ask me. When you look back a season ago, he was 3-14, only had 3,641 yards with 12 touchdowns and 17 interceptions. And yards per game, he was at 214. This year, he is at 242. So the key for the Kansas City Chiefs to win this game will have to continue to be their defense right now. If you look at, I'd say continue to get after, like forcing him to make interceptions, because when you look at him last year, like I just mentioned, he had 3-14 record for a reason. A lot of that had to do with interceptions right there. So I would think right there, winning a turnover battle for the Kansas City Chiefs, that'll be a huge thing right there. Key number 2, I would say, for the Kansas City Chiefs. They're going to need to make sure they continue to keep Patrick Mahomes fresh on his feet. As I just mentioned earlier, you saw the damage that he was able to do on his legs the last time these two teams met. He ran 7 times for 39 yards and still had a phenomenal day. He was not sacked in that game. So if his left tackle continue to help get protection for him, that'd be a great omen for the Kansas City Chiefs. As we look at, I mean, the guy that will be responsible for keeping them clean in the pocket would have to be Orlando Brown, of course, left guard Joe Tooney, it looks like, for this game. That's all I got. I'm going to go pick the Kansas City Chiefs in this matchup. I'll say they'll have business at home, but don't be surprised if this is a close one. I am going to go 27-24 Kansas City Chiefs. And that's going to wrap up this edition here of the opening matchup of the AFC divisional playoffs right here on Saturdays. We're having 2 games today, and again, 2 games tomorrow. Like I said, as I just mentioned, as a reminder, tonight's game will conclude Saturday's edition. That'll be an 8 p.m. Eastern game where the Eagles will host the Giants. That game is on Fox and Fox Deportes. And then tomorrow, the games will be starting later in the afternoon, about the same time period as today, close enough. 3 o'clock Eastern game. It'll be the Bills hosting the Bengals. That'll be on CBS and Paramount Plus. A little bit of a controversy right there, since both those teams did not get a chance to finish out the game due to tragic circumstances. Please continue to keep Damar Hamlin in your prayers, everybody. We'll see. Some people feel like that should have been a neutral site game, but at the end of the day, the Bills did win their final game of the regular season, and the Bengals were crowned division champions. It was just a difference of a game right there between the two. They get a chance to finish out the game on Monday night, unfortunately. And then you got I think the game of the week right here will be the San Francisco 49ers hosting the Dallas Cowboys. They'll also be on Fox and Fox Deportes right there, as Kevin Burkhardt and Greg Olsen will have to call on that game right there. I compare it to the old Steelers Cowboys Super Bowl rivalry, especially back in the 70s. The only two teams that have a Super Bowl trilogy. Of course, the third game didn't happen until 1995 Super Bowl 30. But that's me it. So give me the Chiefs, like I said, 27-24. Um, I have reason to believe Jaguars keep this game close. Once again, you guys can follow me on social media, on Twitter at MetaSteelCJR, and on Instagram at MetaSteelNation. Thank you for watching the MetaSteel podcast with your host, Charles Prodigy Richey, here on YouTube. Please make sure to hit that subscribe button. And for all the latest MetaSteel podcasts, episodes, feel free to download them on Mixcloud, Anchor.fm, and SoundCloud, wherever you get your podcasts.